Hi there, it's Jermaine from livewellzone.com, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the three main benefits of chamomile for your menstrual cycle and how you can incorporate it into your period self-care routine. Now, chamomile is an herb that we generally associate these days with helping you to relax as well as helping you to fall asleep, but it also has older historical use for easing pain, and according to one source that I found, it's actually considered in European herbal medicine, it is considered one of the absolute best natural remedies for menstrual cramps. So we're going to talk about the three main benefits first so you can understand why you might want to consider using this herb for your periods. So to start off, let's talk about the first benefit of chamomile, which is the fact that it has anti-inflammatory, anti-spasmodic, and pain relieving properties. Now, there's different compounds that contribute to all of this. So for example, there are compounds known as spiroethers that help to reduce spasms in the muscles. There's also compounds like camozuline, alpha-bisabolol, and also an antioxidant known as apigenin. All three of those work to reduce pain, and in fact there's even been some research that looks at how chamomile compares to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So basically how it would compare to something like ibuprofen, for example. So in one study they compared the effects of chamomile extract to the effects of mefenamic acid, which is a non-steroidal drug, and they found that when it came to relieving menstrual pain specifically, both of them were just as effective. Now, the second benefit of chamomile is that it has mild antidepressant and mild anti-anxiety properties. Okay, so chamomile has been shown to be able to modulate neurotransmitters, so things like GABA, serotonin, and dopamine. Now, because it has the ability to modulate those neurotransmitters, that is why scientists believe that chamomile is able to gently ease anxiety, or at least mild forms of anxiety. Okay, and in addition to this, there's also research showing that apigenin, so this is one of those pain fighting compounds that I mentioned earlier, apigenin has the ability to bind to benzodiazepine receptors in the brain, and as a result, this is what is able to basically create a very mild and gentle tranquilizing effect. So this is probably another reason again why we tend to associate chamomile when it comes to things like relaxation and also helping to sleep and to just kind of create a mild sedating effect. And on top of this, there's also some research showing that when it comes to PMS related anxiety, chamomile can also help to provide some natural relief. Now, the third and last benefit we're going to talk about is the fact that chamomile contains bitter compounds. So bitter compounds are essential because they help to support the liver. Okay, so in the previous video, I talked about the fact that bitter foods and herbs like chamomile help to stimulate bile. Okay, and bile is essential for basically transporting toxins so that they can be eliminated from the body, and removing or at least reducing our toxic load can definitely be beneficial when it comes to hormonal balance. So the fact that it has some ability to support the liver can indirectly help to bring more harmony and more balance to hormones. Now let's look at the three different ways in which you can start using chamomile to support your cycle and to reduce menstrual pain in particular. So the first thing we're going to talk about is making a chamomile tea. Now, to make a basic simple chamomile tea, you will need about 2 to 3 teaspoons of the dried flowers, and you will steep that in 1 cup of hot, not boiling, but hot water. So you steep that, you cover the tea while it's steeping, and you let it steep for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can go ahead and drink this tea. And this is a tea that you could drink multiple times during the day. It can be consumed during your cycle. It can also be consumed even when you're not on your cycle, because again, it is just great for supporting overall health and to helping you feel relaxed during any time of the month. Okay, now that is the basic chamomile tea recipe, but you can actually make stronger versions. So I actually found some recipes on the website of an herbalist known as Richard Wellen, and I will place a link below this video so that you can go look at that recipe for yourself. But he actually suggests using his super strong version, because according to him, if you're somebody who has a very intense pain but maybe you don't want to try drugs, that recipe of his might be helpful. And this is somebody who is a practicing herbalist. He's got several decades of experience, so I definitely will check it out if you want something stronger when it comes to chamomile tea. Okay, now the second way that you can use chamomile is to use the essential oil, because the essential oil actually has also been studied when it comes to reducing pain. Now there's multiple types of chamomile on the market, so when you go shopping, you want to make sure that you get German chamomile. German chamomile has a very strong blue color, and that blue color actually shows that it has higher amounts of some of those pain reducing compounds. So you definitely want to go for German chamomile for this. Now, as for how to actually dilute and use the chamomile oil, you're going to need a carrier oil. So something like almond oil or grapeseed oil. You want something that's liquid, light, and easy to absorb. And you can start with a 3% dilution. So I will put a recipe below this video, but you will start with a 3% dilution. And once you have your blend ready, you can massage that onto your lower belly as well as your lower back. So you can try both areas and see which one gives you more relief. So start with a 3% dilution. If that is not sufficient, then you can experiment with going higher to maybe a 4% or 5% or maybe even higher. But you want to gradually work your way up, because let's not forget that you are applying this on your skin, and there is always a possibility of irritation or burns with essential oils, even if you do dilute them. So start low, see how your pain rate responds, and then if you need to, you can work your way up to something stronger. Okay, and then the last way is you can also use chamomile in the form of a tincture. Okay, so this is again just going to be very convenient, because all you have to do here is follow the manufacturer's instructions for how many drops of the tincture to use and how often to use it throughout the day. So those are your three options: there's a tea, the essential oil, as well as the tincture. And I have included links below this video for where you can go get all of these different products. So one place I recommend when it comes to the tea actually would be Mountain Rose Herbs. So you can certainly try just using tea bags for this, but tea bags tend to have very small amounts of these herbs, and again, for pain sometimes you need a little bit more. Tea bags can get expensive if you're going to be using a lot, because most likely you might be having to drop 2 or 3, maybe more tea bags to make your tea, depending on how much pain you have. So it can actually be more economical to just get loose leaf tea. You also want to be mindful about the quality of your herbs. So personally, I like to get herbs either from my local herb store, and that is a store that is owned and operated by an herbalist. Otherwise, I will also get them online. So one of my first go-tos is Mountain Rose Herbs, because that is their entire business, is just selling high quality herbs. So because really the quality of how the herb is grown and everything and how it's processed and packaged will make a difference in how well it works for you. So if you're trying to use this for something as important as your health, you really want to go for the absolute best quality. Okay, so I've included links below the video to Mountain Rose Herbs and other resources that you can use to get everything that you would need, so that you can start testing chamomile and see if it actually helps you when it comes to your menstrual cycle. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope that you found this information helpful, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you gave this a thumbs up, and of course feel free to share this with anybody else that would benefit from this information. Thank you so much for watching. If you have comments or questions, leave them below the video. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.